Hey everybody, you're here. We're here. What's up? Equo 26 Warrior Chick Jan in the house. What's up, Jan? It's your best buddy Basil here, and we're just about to get the show started. Give a couple minutes for people to show up. While I'm at it, I'll remind you, you can join the text message alert system. I'm realizing that this is not the best part of the show to advertise the text messages because people who are getting here during the pre-show might not need the text messages, but who knows? Maybe there's a day where the notifications do not arrive, and you'll be so happy to get the notification from me personally. A personal text message from me to you. And all you got to do is text the word Canary to 877-740-3226. That's 877-740-3226. It's just Canary. Don't type hi Basil. Don't type give me the text message. Don't type any of that stuff because it won't put you on the list. That's the thing. If you want to get on the list, you got to type Canary. But after that, just know you can text the number. I'll see them. I'm not going to respond because it's expensive, but I see your text messages, and I'm sending out that text message right now. So go ahead, pick up your phone, text the word Canary to 877-740-3226. Let's see. I'm going to check my messages here. Lots of Bible verses. Thank you for that. Somebody asking me to text them. Oh, that's cute. I cannot. God bless you guys. Okay, thank you. Somebody texted the word Canberry. I think they were trying to say canary, but they said Canberry, which I don't know if you're on the list or not. You might want to give another try. All right. Other than that, folks, you can leave us a pre-show prayer by going to canarycrynewstalk.com. You'll see a green tab on the bottom of the right-hand side. Click on that green tab, and then you'll have 90 seconds to leave us a voice message. Of course, you can just give shout-outs or ask us questions or do anything like that, but you can also leave us a pre-show prayer that's spiritually producing the show. Isn't that fun? It's required, so go do that. All right, it's time to start the show, folks. Let's do it.
Heavenly Father, we thank you. We love you. We praise you for being our God, being our Father. I pray that you watch over all those listening to this broadcast, that you give us all wisdom and the courage to walk in your ways. We thank you for all that you are, all that you do, and just being on our lives, speaking to us. We praise you. I thank you for all that you are, all that you do, for your mercy, for your love, your everlasting. In your heavenly name, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
The world is getting crazier. People are acting more and more insane. The end of the world is tomorrow. Tomorrow. There's only one thing to do when the world is falling apart. Listen to Basil and Gonz as they discuss this week's news and events through the lens of Bible prophecy. You are listening to Canary Cry News Talk.
You're listening to Canary Cry News Talk. Today is December 6th, 2023, and we are live to tape on episode 675.
95.
And today,
695.
695.
Yeah.
I was thinking how close we're getting to 700.
Yeah.
And I just threw a 7 in there somewhere. 695. And today, Explosionism. Signing on from Off the Grid, Razzle Dazzle. I'm your best buddy Basil, and you are not crazy.
And my name is Gonz, director of the Age of Deceit films, your favorite Asian provocateur for Christ, live to tape from California to bring you the best news, which is the gospel message of Jesus Christ, while reporting the egregious with a well-rounded, biblically grounded take on world events and today's emergent phenomena. Boom, world order.
Whoa. Very clever.
Lots of
clever,
explosions.
very good.
Yes. We had Woo last episode. Now we have Boom. It's all coming together, Basil.
Wow.
It's all coming together.
Makes more sense than ever. Okay, we're going to get right into the show here. So let's go ahead and let YouTube that we're not dangerous.
It's time for a disclaimer.
Now listen up.
YouTube.
That's right. And just for all the content moderators and censorship managers out there, be they robots or humans, everything you hear on this show comes directly from the mainstream corporate news media. We do not claim to be experts on healthcare, geopolitics, military strategy, corporate law, or the moral and ethical implications of any of these topics, nor do we implicitly or explicitly support or subscribe to any sources or narratives containing misinformation, disinformation, or malinformation, as defined by the Department of Homeland Security. We're good boys. All right, YouTube, we're good boys. That's right, and here is a quick rundown.
Oh, look, here's Basil.
Let me bring you up to speed.
Alrighty, we're starting off with some big news of the day, and as always, we get to say, told you so. But something that comes as no surprise, but is no comfort whatsoever. First of all, there's some rumblings in the jungle over there in the U.S. military, and dozens of service members suspected of advocating overthrow of the U.S. government, says the DoD. Okay, don't know what that means, but we'll find out. And then Dick Durbin, oh boy, does he have a plan to both bolster the U.S. military numbers and put some undocumented immigrants to work. I bet you could do that math. Then, the first humanoid robot factory is opening up. Watch out, folks. And the show could not be complete without talking about the explosion. You know the one, the explosion. Or maybe there's many explosions. We're going to look into the spurt of explosions going on in very particular parts of the country. And then we're going to be talking Gen Z, baby. It's Basil's bunker. The preparations continue, and it's confusing the establishment. Then at the end of the show, of course, Nephilim in Antarctica. You cannot deny it. But first, Guns, our lead stories.
Armageddon's on the way.
Aliens.
Armageddon's on the way.
We're going to kick it off with a story from Stars and Stripes. Is that what we're doing first? Okay.
This was a very interesting story because the video is out there. Nuts. I should have just sent you the video.
Yeah.
Maybe I can pull it up real quick. But the video's out there. It's floating around. It happened. It's real news, but the mainstream corporate news media has absolutely no interest in reporting on this story. So it's mostly popping up on, military websites.
Like patriotic outlets and stuff.
Well, not even patriotic, like official military websites.
Okay.
Like military.com, Stars and Stripes is a little bit more of a patriot thing. But, these websites that focus on military news. Mm-hmm. And so it's all over the place, but definitely not going to see it on CNN.
Well, we might later.
What's that?
I say we might in a few days, depending on how this, the public reacts and everything. But continue. Let's hear what Stars and Stripes has to say.
Yeah. Well, the archive link that we have here is not working for me.
Okay.
Not sure why it's an archive. Did Stars and Stripes have a...
Yeah, they have a little paywall thing. I have it here. I have a thing here, the headline. Nearly 80 service members suspected of advocating to overthrow U.S. government DOD investigation finds. Interesting. Okay. The Defense Department investigated 183 allegations of extremist activity among service members in the past year, including 78 cases of service members advocating for the overthrow of the U.S. government, according to a Pentagon audit published Thursday. In addition to the 78 allegations involving troops wanting to overthrow the U.S. government, the Inspector General for the Defense Department reported 44 instances of service members advocating for terrorism and 22 cases of service members advocating for or committing violence to achieve political, religious, or discriminatory goals. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Now, it's very interesting because I could not find a single quote or even a single sort of specific example.
Yeah, I would like to know how it's being summarized. Achieve political, religious, or discriminatory goals. It's very broad. That is a generalization.
I mean, it could be as much as saying like, hey, we need to, Biden is old and needs to get out there. We need a new president.
Right.
Because I think, in the context of the military with the sort of strict rules on their behavior, a soldier saying that Biden needs to be replaced, I mean, that could technically be taken as very serious because
especially
they're supposed to be ultimately subordinate to the president.
Right, especially if, fights break out and the drinking, they get into an argument, that could be perceived as political activism from the ranks.
That also, and I'm just even just posting on Facebook. I could see that being the measure by which they are advocating for the overthrow of the government. A soldier just saying like, Biden needs to go. He's too old. That could be technically considered. And as we've seen, the just total madness when it comes to the military and, throughout COVID and all the control of speech and control of everything, I could see it being that simple, but who knows, because they don't give any examples.
Well, they give a lot of numbers of things, like 3 allegations made about troops advocating for or committing violence to deprive people of their rights, and 32 allegations centered on troops advocating for widespread discrimination of people based on race, religion, sex, gender, identity, and sexual orientation.
Yeah, deprive people of their rights is, need an ID to vote.
Right.
That's, of course, counts as depriving people of their civil rights, requiring them to have a legal government ID to vote for the president.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why I think that's why they're not giving us any examples, because it could be as simple as that.
Yeah.
Interesting numbers that I found, Gons, 130 soldiers in the Army, suspected of participation in extremist activity. The Air Force suspected 29 airmen. The Navy and Marine Corps reported 10 service members each. And the Space Force. The Space Force reported 4 guardians for extremism.
Guardians for extremism. That's fantastic. I love that. That is great. I wonder if Jason P. Lowry is considered a guardian for extremism. You know who Jason P. Lowry is?
I do not.
He's the author of the book Soft War, and it's all about power projection theory and abstract power made by software, and how proof of work is the one way to physically, in a sense, push back against the tyrannical software takeover of the world. It's very interesting. And his book got, I guess, taken down from, the story goes that, it's kind of circulating around the DOD, and they were like, no, we got to ban this book publicly and whatever. And then the guy got recruited. Jason P. Lowry said on X, like July or something, I've been quiet because I've been working on something, more to come or whatever. But very interesting. But I'll talk more about that in another situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just comes to mind because he was Space Force. This is the reason why I bring it up.
Here's a couple of examples of the horrible extremism going on in the military. It says the report comes after the Inspector General in August released a report that showed military recruiters sometimes skip steps to screen out enlistees affiliated with criminal gangs or extremist groups. That audit found that 53 out of 129 applicants, or 41%, weren't interviewed about their ties to extremist groups or gangs. So they're trying to say that 41% of enlistees
53
didn't disclose or weren't even asked to disclose their gang affiliation or their whatever jihadi ties.
But if they're extremist, the definition of extremist groups we've seen in the last few months have included anyone who identifies as MAGA. So is that an angle here?
Yeah, that too.
So like if you wore a MAGA hat and you're trying to join the military, you're all of a sudden an extremist group, and if you weren't interviewed about it, you're part of the 41%. This huge problem.
Let me list a couple of things, and we're going to go into the next story. And I popped a link in there for a video that I think will be a little bit more engaging than us just reading it.
Okay.
So you've got 41% weren't even asked about their affiliations with gangs and other things. Let's see here. 4 allegations involve service members encouraging other military personnel or DoD civilians or contractors to break the law or disobey orders to disrupt military activities. This is so general, so broad, so unspecific. One example of something they might be talking about is, somebody posts on their Facebook, hey, I'm not going to shoot American citizens if I'm told to, and you shouldn't either. Boom. That's service members encouraging their military personnel to disobey orders. So, the fact that there's no specific examples being given is a big problem. And it's even a big problem. Remember the 2 examples, involving service members encouraging to disobey orders. 41% of them weren't even asked about their ties to extremist groups or gangs. And then confirming some worries that we have expressed before, Dick Durbin came out, he's a Democrat, and proposed a bill.
Yeah.
A very interesting bill, Gons, and we can hear it in his own words.
Okay. Here it is.
What troubles me about the debate now about the southern border is it is one half of the immigration equation. Yes, we need order at the border. Yes, we need to have changes in the laws that reflect the reality of the overwhelming numbers from all over the world who are coming to our shores and our border. But there is also an incredible demand for legal immigration into this country even now. The presiding officer, my colleague from the state of Illinois, has legislation which addresses one aspect of that. Her bill, and I hope I describe it accurately, says that if you're an undocumented person in this country and you can pass the physical and the required test, background test, the like, you can serve in our military, and if you do it honorably, we will make you citizens of the United States. Do we need that? Do you know what the recruiting numbers are at the Army and the Navy and the...
So we've had flagging recruitment numbers for a long time now for a lot of legitimate reasons we don't need to go over. And this has been a postulation of ours and other people's that, hey, well, Republicans will agree. We need a more efficient way for legal immigration. But Dick Durbin's idea, or at least I guess it's not his idea, it's the bill of one of his colleagues, is to let undocumented people who cross into the country illegally to join the military. And in sort of a transaction with the devil, they will join the military, fight on behalf of the country, and then gain citizenship. Now, there's already a path similar to this, but really context is the horrifying part, Gons, because, just the other day, there's I think it was 40 Chinese fighting age citizens
at the border.
Fighting age men were caught crossing the border. Of course, they were just allowed to go through after being counted. We've got a huge problem, and it's not just South American people. It's people from around the world, most concerning from our adversaries. And now Dick Durbin says, hey, we can kill 2 birds with 1 stone, allow all these fighting age men into the country, give them legal citizenship, and they can fight on behalf of the U.S. military. Now put that in context of the report from before, the one of the things, there's a couple of things that give American citizens hope that the government will not go full on fascist, military state. And that is A, the Second Amendment, and B, the fact that American soldiers have long-standing loud comments about how they will not fire on American citizens or flex military power on American soil. This is something that almost every military guy that I know, we've had this conversation, and they say, no, we wouldn't do it. Nobody we know would do it. Well, now, possibly, Some people have gotten in trouble for saying that.
Yeah.
But what's a great way to sort of change the math on a U.S. military state? Just make sure all the soldiers being ordered to either fire on or control American citizens are not citizens. They don't care. They don't have what
the
what's
same
word?
kind of
Loyalty. They don't have
patriotic
loyalty
upbringing.
to the country.
Yeah. They weren't. Yeah, they didn't have the same patriotic upbringing or the mythology that was taught to us of the country. Yeah, the same.
Yeah.
It's true. Yeah, it's almost like
forbid.
hired goons to
or God
to orchestrate the Civil
you've
War.
got some foreign nationals coming in specifically for this reason. I mean,
there you go.
It's a huge national security issue. Now, will this pass? I don't know. But as far as the things we've seen pass recently, it would not surprise me if it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
I think, it's troubling all around, especially going back to that Stars and Stripes article. There's a thing at the bottom here. First of all, it talks about the Pentagon here. Pentagon officials have said they know extremist groups, especially far-right and anti-government organizations, seek out military veterans and push their young followers to enlist so they can receive military training. And the Pentagon itself, I have a note on that in a second here, but it says the report also states that the Defense Department investigated 58 allegations of gang activity across the military, quote, until implementation of standardized processes occurs, the DoD will have inconsistent tracking of prohibited activities participation.
Yeah.
Problems identifying, collecting, and reporting data from multiple decentralized systems and difficulty validating the accuracy of reported data, the report states. Basically saying, we need more surveillance on our people.
We need a wellness pass.
We need to make sure the mental wellness pass, not just the physical. And
they already told us. They already told us that 41% of those soldiers weren't even asked about their ties to extremist groups or gangs.
Yeah.
The thing they're trying to communicate or whatever is, hey, 41% of the illegal immigrants that we bring into our military to fight for our country won't even be asked about their affiliations with extremist groups, gangs, maybe even foreign adversaries. It's the messages when you put them all together is very concerning. They're all concerning on their own, but putting them together is even it just takes it a step too far for me.
It's very interesting how the United States had its sort of golden era of being, the land of freedom and opportunity, and people from all around the world came here for that freedom and opportunity. And now that exact thing is being completely abused for the teardown, the whole teardown of the country, which I think, just to tag some stuff here, there is a woman, I believe, who just won a Grawemeyer World Order Prize.
Oh, yeah.
A scholar who measures Pentagon's carbon footprint wins Grawemeyer World Order Prize. And, she got an award for the University of Louisville Grawemeyer Award for Ideas Improving World Order, which is a great thing. And her whole thing is the Pentagon's carbon footprint is way too big. Something needs to change. And so, just to tag with some of the stuff taking place in terms of the military infrastructure being overhauled in general, it's a very interesting time to shake things up.
That's why you need Greta's vegan grenades.
But think about the options here. Some military leaders are going to, we can solve this, immigration problem. You'll have a bunch of soldiers on the ground. You'll have more soldiers. Or do you want robots? Or do you want both?
Yeah.
Or do you know what I mean? Yeah. These options are becoming a little bit less. It's almost like the California Democrat vote system. It's becoming more evil.
Yeah, seriously considered. And honestly, the most evil thing, and this is what the left should be, up in arms about this prospect too, is how twisted is it that you have people, I'll speak from the side of the left, okay?
Ooh,
not even
Basil,
a leftist,
the lefty.
just a Democrat, okay? How twisted and evil is it to have somebody with so much compassion. Let them across the borders. Don't even ask questions. And once they're here, give them a choice. Either fight and risk your life and fight for this country to earn your citizenship. That's the only way. We cannot give you a test. We cannot we don't have an easy way to make you a citizen. It's a decade-long process, or you can just put your blood on the line for us. Fight for us. And, when an undocumented immigrant is given a choice of, hey, here we are. I'm a soldier. I'm in the army. I could die at any moment, trading my blood and my life for the opportunity to stay in this country for whatever reason, good or bad. It's very like late stage Roman Empire when they started getting like all their slaves. Would conquer nations just to take their army and make their previous foreign enemy into their own military. It does not signal anything good, no matter what your perspective is on it. It's really wild.
Stop this progress before it is too late.
This is not about freedom or personal choice.
Clearly, it's about the deconstruction of the United States, and it seems like all the stories we'll cover today is surrounding this idea. So,
yeah, and you're absolutely right, Gons. The choice is clear. Do you want immigrants giving up their lives and spilling their blood and following orders at all costs, even if it's against the American people, or do you want robots? We're gonna need a lot of them.
A lot of robots.
Gonna need a lot of them, Gons.
Yeah.
Let's hit that Flippy update.
Oh no, I thought we're doing our weekly Today is Wednesday thing.
It's the break. Okay, yes. Sorry, let's do it. It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Hey guys, know what date it is? It's Wednesday. Time for the Canary Cry News Talk. Yeehaw!
Wednesday, my dudes. It is Wednesday, my dudes.
You shaking up over there? You're. I think the story shook you up. You're.
I was just
rushing.
excited. I was just excited to keep the show going. Maybe we don't need breaks.
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
know.
Oh.
But it is Wednesday.
Mhm.
We're getting over the hump here.
Yep.
Thanks everybody for being here. We've got man, oh man. Do you have anything to report since last episode?
Just that I've been hanging out. There's a lake here where I live now, and I've been hanging around the geese, and it's pretty cool to see these magnificent creatures talk and yell at each other. But I was watching them, and they reminded me of Silly Goose Elder Dave. I was like, oh, is this Silly Goose Elder Dave here? But I was torn between, sort of being taken back by the majesty of creation and animals, and at the same time, I was like, ooh, looks kind of tasty. Not goose specifically. Ducks is more my my delicacy. In the kitchen, it'd be nice to eat some duck. But I was having those mixed feelings. It's like, oh, beautiful animal, but I kind of want to eat you too. I know goose and duck is not the same thing, but
if you eat the goose, you gain its power.
Yeah, well, they were very, very powerful. They were controlling, and there's these black birds with white beaks and red eyes, and they look like little drone soldiers. I don't know what kind of bird they are. But if anyone...
Yeah, those guys were a pain in my butt when I did my duck hunting trip.
Oh, okay. So what are they? Are they
those
like...
blackbirds with the white bills? I don't remember what they are, but they are everywhere, and they know that I don't want to shoot them. They know, and so they taunt me.
If there were actual birds aren't real, government drone birds, that's the bird right there. They're all over the place. They have like neon colored feet. It's really weird.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah.
Well, I couldn't remember if I told this story on the show or not, but I did tease it like last Wednesday, and I forgot to talk about it. And that is my dramatic goat story. Do you remember this?
Dramatic goat story. Which one?
Yeah. Did I tell a dramatic goat story on the show? Well, I woke up the other day. It's gotten a little colder, so I've rigged up heaters in all the animals' houses, just keep everybody nice and warm. And I woke up the other day, and I'm walking around doing my morning thing, and it's cold, so neighbors are burning their wood stoves. It's not unusual to smell smoke in the air. Well, I didn't think a thing about it. But when time came to feed the goats and all the animals, I went out there. Goat house just on fire. Goat house just straight up on fire. Hey. It was a slow burning fire, but it was a fire nonetheless.
Were you sure it wasn't?
And the goats,
goat wasn't a government agent trying to hide his tracks.
The goat is responsible. So the goat just could not resist the temptation to lick the heat lamp any moment it got. I mean, these little guys, they are so cute, and their little tongues are adorable. But I kept catching the goat licking the lamp. And so I kept moving it to try to put it out of its reach. But when the goat has a will, the goat finds a way. So the goat was attempting to eat the heat lamp. It dropped, it broke, it set the goat house on fire. Luckily, there was only about, maybe like 10% damage was done. But, the goats were doing this, it's like, so the goat pen used to be dirt.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing like this layering sort of project, layering more comfortable materials like hay and blah blah blah. So there's about 6 inches of hay compacted for the goat pen, and so when the fire started burning, it started not just burning up on the house, but burning deep into the ground. It was like in there with a shovel, having to shovel 6 inches of compacted hay that was smoldering and continued burning. Probably would have continued burning for days if I didn't notice it. So that was exciting.
Yeah, sounds like a good time.
And one more exciting thing for everybody out there who is following the Revelation Ready Rabbits, prepper rabbits going on over here. The winter broods have been born. So we got a little tiny baby rabbits jumping around. I got to take a video like your geese next time.
Yeah.
But the puppies are absolutely freaked out by baby bunnies.
Are they starting to possess them and picking them up and running away with them?
Losing their minds. Yeah, these baby bunnies, luckily, they got their own secure pen, but the dogs are just out of their gourd about these tiny baby bunnies.
I think we have
I like to think it isn't because they want to eat them, but who knows?
Yeah. Well, maybe the dogs can take them down the proper rabbit trails.
I want them to become friends.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's going to happen. Okay. Along with that, folks, let's take a second and thank some of our executive producers.
Executive producers.
That's right. We're on the value for value model, which means we take no money whatsoever from corporations, cartels, or commies. We are entirely funded by people who get value from this show, and that is you. If you get value, you can become a producer. In fact, you should. It's a fun activity. It invests. It not only does it keep the show going, but you feel the joy of investing in something you really believe in, getting involved in whatever way you want. Could be with your time, your talent, or your treasure. Lots of ways to do it. When people, aren't able to produce with their treasure anymore, they get involved in stuff going on. So whatever makes sense for you, you can go to canarycry.support to learn more. And the executive producers, they're the ones who come in with $100 or more for any individual episode. And we like to thank them here at the top.
Yep.
And today, it's an easy list. Easy list today because our one and only executive producer is the king of executive producers himself. He's on a 241 episode streak and a 37 episode executive producer streak. Have you guessed who it is? It's Sir LX Protocol V2, Knight of the Berean Protocol. Yes.
Oh, yeah. Streakalicious.
Comes in with $100 and 33 cents. Thank you so much.
Wow.
Sir Alex Protocol, V2 Night of the Brian Protocol, executive producer extraordinaire.
Yeah.
And yeah, just to answer some questions in the chat there, don't worry. I have replaced the goat heat lamp. It is now a goat sort of pad thing.
He'll figure out a way.
I forget what it's like an infrared or something heating pad. Okay, well, that's it for the executive producers, Gons.
Okay.
What do you think about today? Do we need to zip through the rest of the producers now? Because
we can,
or do it during the art section.
We can, maybe. I don't
yeah,
know.
let's just do it real quick.
Okay.
There's some fun bits in here.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, these are the remainder of the financial producers. Now, remember, this is 3 episodes worth of financial producers because we have not been able to get to it since last Wednesday. So it's a little bit of a list, but it's a great list, and there's some fun stuff. So I'd like to start out with thanking producer Smith P.
Smith P. Thank you.
Yeah. And Smith comes in.
There he is.
Whoa. You know, I don't know exactly what this number means, but it is a funky number. And folks, when you use a funky number, that's you telling us you don't mind if we disclose that amount. And so I'm going to disclose it now. It's $95 and 79 cents.
Okay, 9579.
Yeah. And the reason why this is so special, Gons, is because I recently put some more buttons on the Canary Cry babysittersclub.com. So it used to be there's only one option to help with the babysitting. It was to join the supply drop. That is still a wonderful option, and I encourage everybody to do that. But now there are opportunities for a one-time producership, a one-time donation to the Babysitters Fund. And, you know, that's fun because you know exactly what your money is being used for. Obviously not today, but the times when we are able to make it happen. But it is reserved. And Smith P was the very first and I think only person to use that one-time Babysitters Club button. So thank you very much, Smith.
Thank you very much.
Canary Cry Babysitters Club.
There you go.
Bing, bom, boom, boom. Next up, we've got Gregory G. Gregory G comes in for $50 and 33 cents.
Hey, that means you are Illuminatus.
Illuminatus!
Thank you, Gregory G.
Thank you, Gregory G.
Next, we have Jan S. came in. I think that's Warrior Chick Jan.
I think that is Warrior Chick Jan.
It is Warrior Chick Jan. Thank you very much. Warrior Chick Jan came in with a nice round number, so we won't disclose it there. Remember, if you want us to disclose it, make it some funky, nice round number, no disclosure. Thank you very much, Warrior Chick Jan.
Thank you very much.
Next up, we've got Julie S.
Julie S. Thank you.
Yeah. Julie S. also came in with a nice round number. Thank you, Julie. We've got Emily H.
Thank you, Emily H.
Thank you, Emily H. Emily H. came in for $48.
Hey, thank you very much.
Next up, we got Asher G.
Asher G. Thank you.
Yeah, Asher G. came in a couple times. Came in with 33 plus fees. And they also signed up for the supply drop. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
That makes them a part of the Babysitters Club. Okay, and there's a note. The note says, "Hello, Basil and Gons. I found that my T-shirt council had stopped some months ago, so here's something to make up for that, along with an upgrade to the Babysitters Club. Thanks for all your hard work and dedication to the gospel. Slugginator." Whoops. This is from Slugginator.
Slugginator.
Thank you very much, Slugginator.
Slugginator. Yes. Okay.
I will mention this again later on. But for those who are in the Canary Cry T-shirt Council, check your email. Look for an email from us because the vote ends today, and it's absolutely tied between 2 options for the design.
Ooh,
we need some tiebreakers to come in, and it needs to happen today. Check your email. Look for the poll. Take the poll. Choose. The power is yours. You are the most important people in the world.
Very cool.
Next up, we've got KARE W.
KARE W, thank you.
Yep, nice round number. Next, we got Guy L.
Guy L. Thank you very much, my
L.
guy.
Again, nice round. Nice round number, Guy. Thank you. Producer Malik W. is back.
Hey, Malik W. Thank you very much.
Malik. Yeah, Malik's on a 46 episode streak.
There you go. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Next up, we got Dame Gale, Canary, Whisper, and Lady of X's and O's. On a 330 episode streak.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, streakalicious.
She's right.
And Dame Gale's got a prayer request here.
Yep, go ahead.
Prayer request.
Oh, prayer request.
Producers.
Producers, assemble!
That's right. Producers around the world. Those who are producers with their prayers, spiritual producers, very important. Put this on your list from Dame Gale. A small cancerous lump was found under Kitty Cece's chin 3 weeks ago that grew so fast and is obstructing her esophagus. Time to say goodbye today. She gave us 18 years of sweet love. I'll miss her so much. X's and O's. Oh, that's very sad. I'm sorry to hear about Cece.
Yeah.
Man, but 18 years,
that's a long time.
An old kitty. That
yeah,
kitty had a long go of it.
My first cat, I think, lived to 18, and she was hacking up at the end, you know? So
yeah, that's tends to be how it happens when they get that old. Yeah. One of the Monty that died in 2020 also was from cancer. You know, they get old enough and it sort of happens. Yeah. But we are praying for you, Dame Gale, for comfort and peace, and God will have a new kitty coming your way soon. I guarantee it, whether you want it or not.
Whether you want it or not. It might be in the form of a bunny from Basil's Ranch, but
could be that. Could be that. Thank you, Dame Gale. Next up, we got Lindsay B.
Lindsay B, thank you very much.
Lindsay B, $7.77, says, hi, guys, longtime listener, member of the Supply Drop, first-time producer. Hey, we got a D-Mooch.
Hey, hang on one second. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I got D-Mooch
here. I can hear the
here.
chaos. You're doing a great job. There's your D-Mooching, Lindsay B. Thank you so much.
Uh-oh.
Remember, folks, if it's your first time financially producing the show, let us know. You get that D-Mooching. It's an honor. Next, it continues. Note continues. May I please inquire on how Dr. Christopher and his family are doing? Thanks a bunch. Much love and prayers. Yeah, I mean, you can certainly send an email to Dr. Chris. I'm not so sure how much I can say. I will say, if you were listening to Ravel, Dr. Christopher is my co-host there. You'll notice no episodes recently. Dr. Chris, after getting his pastorship and planting a church and having a kid, things got busy for old Dr. Christopher. And around the time that I had my hospitalization is when Ravel took a hiatus. But as far as I know, things are going well. I will reach out to Dr. Chris and see if there's anything he'd like to share. Thank you, Lindsay B. Next up, we've got Progress Not Perfection here. Progress Not Perfection coming in for 1234. That's 1234. Hi, fellas. 2 Timothy 1:7 comes to mind. For the Spirit God gave us does not make us timid, but gives us power, love, and self-discipline. During this challenging and amazing time of Advent, may you be blessed. Wow. Thank you very much. Progress, not perfection. And yes, all shall be blessed here. It's Advent. It's coming. He's coming. Thank you very much. Progress, not perfection. Last but not least, we got producer Travis H. Travis H comes in for $7.77. Cool. Yes, babies or something's going on. Thank you very much, Travis H. I did not see a note from Travis H. Just doing a quick check because I'm curious. Nope. Okay. Other than that, that's it. That's the list of financial producers for the last 3 episodes who have come in the amount of $7.77 or more, which entitles them to have a note read on the show. But we got some people who came in under that. We'll read their name and their streak now, starting with Dr. Who Done Dat on a 34-episode streak.
Sorry
which
about
means
that. I had to step out for a second.
That's okay.
Back.
Which means we passed his 33 episode streak. So he is now an illuminated lizard master shield.
Officially solidified illuminated lizard master shield.
The most exciting streak.
That's right. Thank you very much, Doctor Who Done That. Next, Sir Morv, Now to the Burning Chariots, 307 episodes in a row.
Thank you, Sir Morv.
Veronica D, 337 episodes in a row.
Veronica D, thank you.
Sir Scott, Knight of Truth, 361 in a row.
Thank you, Sir Scott.
And, of course, Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
Sir Casey the Shield Knight.
There you go.
376 episodes in a row. Thank you very much to everyone who saw fit to produce the show in the last 3 episodes. It means everything to us, especially not just the finances. I mean, the finances are an enormous part of it. We couldn't do it without you. But just the fact that you took the time, it was on your mind, and you made the choice to put your resources, which are not in big supply these days. We totally understand that. And that's why every single financial producer is a treasure to us. To learn more or produce the show, go to canarycry.support.
Canarycry.support.
Yep. And remember, it's value. Whatever you get out of the show, pray about it. You can put whatever number you want on it and put that value back in. Or you can make some art and or volunteer your time to the show. We got all sorts of stuff that needs doing. But that's it, Guns.
Okay.
Just a reminder. No reminders.
All
I
right.
forget what I was reminding.
Okay.
But I'll remember someday.
All right. Well, thank you to all the producers. We really appreciate you for dedication to keep the show going. So thank you. And Flippy time?
Flippy time.
Flippy update.
Do you want fries with that?
That's right. It's a Flippy update. Flippy is our colloquial name for the disembodied robot arms that are taking our jobs, enslaving our children, and flirting with our spouses. We use talking about Flippy as a way to explore all the new, fun, and exciting ways that robots are taking over the world and how there's nothing we can do about it. I have not memorized anything and recited it from memory as much as that in my whole life. When I get to heaven and I get my cool sheet of stats that the Lord gives you, all the stats from your time on Earth, that will be on my statistics sheet, how many times I said that. The headline, the first humanoid robot factory is about to open. Dun, dun, dun.
Seems like
quick
it's,
one, but an important one, folks.
Seems like this is not a new thing, but okay.
Well,
doesn't it feel like we've had robot factories already?
No, there are no mass production robot factories for humanoid robots at this moment.
Okay.
A factory planning to pump out 10,000 two-legged robots a year is taking shape in Salem, Oregon.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's right. Bet you expected it to be in China. No. It's in Oregon. The better to help Amazon and other giant companies with dangerous hauling, lifting, and moving. And, of course, the U.S. military for a compliant soldier force that you don't need to give citizenship. Oh, maybe they will.
Yeah,
we've talked about robot citizenship. Maybe they will offer citizenship to these robots once they are marching down our streets.
Yeah, especially if they fight for us.
Yeah, spilling their robot blood.
Robot juice, yeah.
Agility Robotics says that its RoboFab manufacturing facility will be the first to mass-produce humanoid robots, which could be nimbler and more versatile than their existing industrial counterparts. China think so. Beijing recently announced a goal of mass-producing humanoid robots by 2025. The robot wars are coming, folks. Agility Robotics, which makes a bot named Digit that's being tested by Amazon, plans to open RoboFab early next year. 2024. Opening, not just being constructed. They open the doors and start cranking out robots next year. This is what we're talking about, folks. We've been talking about robots for a long time, and the time had come where we stopped talking about robots taking over in a far-off future. It is opening next year, which means 10,000 operational humanoid robots by Christmas next year, inaugurating what CEO Damian Shelton calls the world's first purpose-built humanoid robot factory.
We have listeners in Oregon. We should have some boots on the ground. Go to the opening, the cutting of the ribbon. Is it going to be a robot that cuts the ribbon?
Yeah, maybe I should see when they're actually cutting the ribbon, because that would be a good boots on the ground. I could probably, you know what? Nobody understands. Nobody understands me, Gons. And that's why I need to go to this ribbon cutting and make friends with the CEO of Agility Robotics.
Yeah.
We've placed a very high priority on just getting robots out there as fast as possible.
I like the practicality. Just getting the robots out there. Just doesn't matter.
We do not care.
No obstacle will stop me.
Getting them out there. We don't care about the bugs. It's very Elon Musk-esque, really.
Yeah, it is.
And Mark Zuckerberg, I guess. Move fast and break things, except for the things that are being broken are the skulls of the enemies of the robots.
Sure.
It's not a good thing to rush 10,000 robo soldiers in case there's some tweaks that need to be made to tamper the violent tendencies of these AI.
The scaling is pretty insane. It says here Agility has produced about 100 robots since its founding in 2016. So in 8 years they've made 100, and plans to move Digit Productions from its Tangent, Oregon headquarters to a more spacious 70,000 square foot RoboFab facility in the coming months. So yeah, 100 in 8 years to 10,000 in 1 year. I don't like
10,000 in a year.
I don't like this exponential, because we had Moore's law with the microchip, and that's actually slowed down, right? Like it's not as prominent. The amount of data that can be stored on a microchip, the size of the chip is like halved every 13 months or whatever.
No,
I think
doubles every
4
years.
4 years. Okay, so all right, so it was 13 months. Now it's every 4 years or whatever. But the scaling of 100 in 8 years to 10,000 in 1 year, we're going to be talking hundreds of thousands, millions, billions within a few years, especially if multiple companies, especially Elon, these guys get on top of the robot factory deal. Wow, we're going to be producing robots all over the place.
A lot of robots.
How is this not going to end bad when, we have millions, billions of robots everywhere? It's just, I don't know. It's just perfectly ripe for some dystopian.
It's going to look, it's going to look just like the dystopian movies. Now, these robots are being created specifically. I mean, the reason they're going to be pumping so many out is for Amazon to tote things around in their warehouse, which is horrific because, of course, with the economy as it is, with the poor working conditions and low value on human life in these warehouses, of course they say, oh no, these robots are just going to help employees move totes around, but it's just a matter of time. Just a reminder, Digit is 5 feet 9 inches and 140 pounds, can walk over and plug itself in when it needs to recharge. That's fun.
Digit the one that crumbled and fell?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was the one that was made a mockery of, which makes it even more dangerous.
Yeah. The one that everybody laughed at for falling, 10,000 of them a year. Here we go.
There is nothing more dangerous than a robot scorned.
Oh my gosh.
And this robot was the laughing stock of the internet for a cycle. And Digit does not forget. Digit does not forgive. So watch out.
You made fun of me. Now I multiply.
Yeah, it's going to be good at building himself. Yep, there you go. There is your Flippy update for the day.
All right. Well, going back to some earlier conversations here and tying some things together, there's a lot of explosions taking place.
That's weird.
It is weird. So I have
thank you for busting out that jingle, by the way. I think it might be my favorite one of all time.
Oh.
And we don't do it often.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of jingles in the bag here. I've been wanting to organize them more, but it's trying to, I don't know, change wheels on moving train.
You need an AI. You need a robot to do it. It's too much for one man.
You're right. Let me bust out my ChatGPT. Okay. So we have I have a series of articles here. I have some clips for each one. This first one is from KARE 11, and the headline is from November 30th. 1 dead in reported South St. Paul home explosion. Here's how the news report went.
I was in my kitchen, and my whole house shook because I had to grab onto the countertop.
Booms disrupted a quiet morning.
Looks like hell.
Across the street from Mike Shuno's home.
It looks like hell. It's total devastation.
His neighbor's house was in flames.
I wanted to run across the street, but I could feel the heat standing right here on my front step.
He heard sounds of explosions coming from the property.
God, what are they covering up over there?
And later, he heard more bad news.
Oh.
So I will confirm now that we did find 1 fatality in the garage.
South Metro Fire says they were called before 6:30 in the morning and were able to quickly put out the flames. But the home was engulfed and they couldn't go inside until after.
We're in the job of saving people, so when we come to an incident like this and we're not able to do that, it hits us all.
It's devastating. Well, you don't wish this on anybody.
Mike says the people who lived there were kind.
She seemed like a total sweetheart. She'd always wave. Always had a smile on her face.
And even after the booms,
there's nothing left.
Neighbors are still shaking.
My God, I mean, I can't believe what I'm seeing.
Okay, so there's the first clip from KARE 11, 1 dead reported, South St. Paul. And, just seemed like some nice people. November 30th, so last week. So, okay, all right. It seems like just an incident and an unfortunate situation. But a few days later, we had another one from, this one's from WGME 13, headline, Fatal Home Explosion in New Gloucester Baffles Some Heating Experts. I don't know if I'm saying that right, Gloucester. Here's the report from that event. Here we go.
Officials are still investigating a fatal home explosion Saturday afternoon on Intervale Road in New Gloucester. Homeowner 44-year-old Lotto Ladoka was killed in the explosion. Investigators say Ladoka was inside the home working on an oil-fired furnace when the explosion occurred. The family member was also inside the home when it exploded. They were able to get out safely, though. Well, the cause of the explosion is still under investigation. One home heating company says they're baffled that an oil-fired burner could have potentially caused this.
In 54 years of doing this business, I have never, ever heard of an oil burner blowing up and killing somebody. Gas or propane, quite often. Oil, I've never, I can't even imagine how the guy would have done something to make that happen. I can't imagine how I could make a system blow up.
Morrill urges the public to give them a call if you need help fixing your furnace. Again, the cause of the fire is still under investigation, but a spokesperson for the Maine Department of Public Safety says that it is considered accidental.
Okay, another explosion, a little suspicion from the local folks. Yeah.
What a strange sort of focus on the impossibility of the explosion.
Yeah, just to sow doubt over the whole thing, right? I mean, this is just perfect fodder for people like us. We're like, of course,
it's
the
just
laser
like
beams, of
asking
course.
Everybody to be suspicious.
Yeah, very interesting. Now
it's almost like obviously a psyop. Like, hey, everybody be suspicious of this.
Right.
Something's going on.
Very weird. Now, this all leads to obviously the big story here coming from yesterday. This is NBC News reporting. Man who lived at Virginia home that exploded is presumed dead. This was quite the spectacle. The footage is crazy. I mean, the whole thing. Here's how NBC News reported it.
Neighbors in Arlington, Virginia feared this was going to end badly. Just after 8 o'clock Monday night, it did. A massive explosion lifting an entire home off its foundation.
Okay, first of all, something that No Agenda does a lot, they point out the explosions, and especially like foreign policy reports. There's always like rockets and stuff exploding in the background in news reports to incite that fear in the people watching, where it's like, oh, wow, yeah, rockets and danger and violence. It's interesting because in this case, this is just raw footage of this house just exploding. This is a crazy piece of footage that yeah, I mean, talk about trauma, mind control type of stuff. This is in your face.
You can see it. It goes into free fall. The house like collapses in free fall.
It's crazy.
Very suspicious.
Very crazy.
And badly. Just after 8 o'clock Monday night, it did. A massive explosion lifting an entire home off its foundation. It started in the afternoon when police responded to reports that a man inside had fired a flare gun more than 30 times.
And by the way, there's footage of that too. The flare guns going off. The whole thing is on tape. It's quite crazy.
A flare gun more than 30 times.
33
that led
times?
to a standoff with a SWAT team armed with a search warrant. Then the enormous explosion that shook homes for blocks.
We need all fire apparatus so we can get the house has exploded, I believe.
This afternoon, police identified the suspect as 56-year-old James Yu, who several neighbors say acted erratically, covering his windows in aluminum foil. Police also confirm he posted online conspiracy theories.
The suspect was inside the residence at the time of the explosion, and he is presumed at this point to be deceased.
Thomas Joyce lived next door and says he wasn't surprised by the massive blast.
He was not a...
Hold on. He was not surprised by the massive blast? What?
That's suspicious.
What are you talking about? He was a weird guy. I'm not surprised that his house exploded. Just a strange fellow over there.
Yeah, does he explain it? Why?
Here, I'll play the whole clip of him
Door
talking.
And says he wasn't surprised by the massive blast.
He was not a stable individual.
Police say
That's it. He was not a stable individual, so I'm not surprised that his house exploded.
That is crazy.
You're not crazy,
to
folks.
not be surprised. Look, there's unstable individuals,
Sure.
And I don't know if you had planned to get in on it, but the things that this guy, and we'll get more into it, but this guy, of course, was known to law enforcement.
Yeah,
what he was known to
contacted
law
FBI.
enforcement about was sending incessant, innumerable emails to government officials.
Yeah.
He just apparently spent all day emailing government officials.
Yeah.
And okay, yeah, that's a little unstable. But to equate that to his house blowing up as not a surprise, that's quite the leap. What it says is there's something that they are not telling us.
Actually, I don't even think the guy that they have the clip from said that. I don't think he said, I'm not surprised. I think they're putting words in his mouth because it's the narrator that's saying he wasn't surprised. And then that, 5-second clip.
Yeah.
So,
that makes it even more of a media construction.
Yeah, let's hear it one more time just to make sure that we're not crazy over here.
56-year-old Jim, windows in aluminum, conspiracy theories.
The suspect was inside the residence at the time of the explosion, and he is presumed at this point to be deceased.
Thomas Joyce lived next door and says he wasn't surprised by the massive blast.
He was not a stable individual.
Police say Yu had no known criminal record, but had a history of filing unsubstantiated complaints with the FBI. Police still searching for a cause of the explosion.
Which the footage here where they're talking about the investigation of the cause of the explosion is like an officer or something leaning down and picking up like a card or something off the ground. I don't know what that has to do with the investigation of the explosion.
Kicking some rocks.
Yeah.
Kicking some smoldering embers.
His sunglasses fall off. I don't get it. But so you had found some interesting. Some people actually digging out James Yu and some of his social media posts because he was reported as a conspiracy theorist or posting online. What is it? Online things with conspiracies or something. So
the mainstream is reporting it as if he is a right-wing extremist.
Yeah.
They may or may not, I believe some outlets mentioned right-wing, but they're all using the code words for Trump voter.
Right.
Conspiracy theorist, whatever, wants to overthrow the government, blah, 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 all this kind of stuff. They're implying that it's a right-wing guy.
Yeah.
But as people started digging through it, and there's a lot of people, I was looking through his social media and stuff like that, and it turns out he was a total left-wing nut job. His sorry, I don't have it up right in front of me, but his
he's a George Mason University School of Business here. He's got hashtag purge them, quoting Noam Chomsky.
Yeah, right. He's a big Noam Chomsky guy, which, is sort of the left-wing establishment, non-establishment guy.
Right.
They have some of his emails that he sent to the FBI. They have some of his social posts. It looks like it's on LinkedIn, but let's see here.
There's some email.
Stupid Donbass threatening people of color around the world while insinuating American people of color are not American. He's very sort of passionate about the sort of left-wing, not just the virtues of fairness and everyone equal under the law, but the real sort of woke level of this stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I think that part of it, obviously, we can always make it especially in the context of today, it's easy to make it political. The mainstream does it, and so the alt media will turn and defend the other side type of thing. I do find it interesting, though, that as soon as this happened, somebody was saying that this was being live streamed on YouTube from his own YouTube channel, like James Yu's channel. And I don't know if that is exactly the case. I haven't done all the digging, but someone did post screen videos, like a screenshot of their phone, of the video streaming, the explosion streaming, and somebody named at @JamesU_ is seen posting a bunch of stuff under in like the chat or the comments, I guess, of the YouTube video. And the stuff he says, and I don't know, I think this is fairly, right after this thing happened, because the mainstream media picked up on it as like, hey, he had some crazy social media posts, he's a right-wing conspiracy theorist. It actually makes more sense now that this is some kind of operation here, because let me read for you what this alleged James Yu grifter was saying on social media or on YouTube of the video of like his house exploding. He's saying, I was being spied on by the US government for previously working as head of security for CFIUS. They assume I am a traitor. Now, interestingly, it does say that he was former head global security with CFIUS experience on his LinkedIn page. So maybe that's what it was. The guy just picked his stuff and, somebody or a troll or somebody got his information and was trolling. But that's one thing. And then he goes on later on here. Let's see. Jan 6 was a rigged event. Blah, 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 blah. He's going on and on about that. All my social media is being banned for no reason. I wasn't even home when that incident happened. Y'all know the truth soon. So he was suggesting he wasn't even there.
So he's also talking about Jan 6.
He's talking about Jan 6. And then he goes into all software and hardware have backdoor security breaches purposely built in with government nations spying on people. I doubt America and DoD changed their network security architecture since my CFIUS days around 2003. But Checkpoint Security, Israeli-based company firewalls and security products are deeply entrenched throughout America's and DoD's network, including internet. This is not a secret. They intentionally sacrificed America's and DoD's security to Israel. What? How specific is that for some troll? I mean, I don't know. It just seems like a bot that was released or something. And I mean,
I don't know. It feels like the specificity. I mean, definitely feels like a psyop. But
yeah, of course.
Bot.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just weird that this would pop up, and then people in the are responding like, "Hey, is that your house? It just exploded," and all this kind of stuff. I mean, he's saying, "Don't believe the media," and all this kind of and people were calling out how it's a different handle from his actual YouTube channel. Fair enough, that seems to be the case as far as I can tell. But it is weird. It's weird that it would even trend, that people on X would pick it up. So this is the alt media platform picking up on a mainstream story and having some kind of angle on it of like, oh, he lives. And of course, people aren't necessarily going to pick up on it if the pieces don't fit. But I just thought it was an interesting phenomenon between the mainstream media calling him a conspiracy theorist and then some guy named James Yu on the video feed of the house exploding saying all the things he would say if he were a right-wing, MAGA person or something. So
Right. What's even weirder? So they were saying in reports and on the mainstream, they kept talking about gas leak, gas explosion.
Yeah.
It was a gas leak. It was a gas explosion. It wasn't on purpose. It just something was wrong with the gas. And as investigation went on, updates are starting to say gas was turned off before massive Arlington, Virginia house explosion, fire department says.
There you go.
So apparently this was a much bigger event. Says here they had decided to evacuate the area 90 minutes before the blast. Okay, so that's more than just showing up.
Yeah, hello. 90 minutes before. Who knows something? Somebody knows something.
Yeah, and they turned
something.
off the gas to the house like 90 minutes before as well. They talk about authorities said they were aware of paranoid ramblings on social media reportedly made by Yu before the explosion that has since gone viral. Yu appeared to post his since deleted LinkedIn account that his neighbors were stalking him, claiming one neighbor was a witch or alien and was planning an attack on Thursday, December 7th, the anniversary of Pearl Harbor.
Yeah. I saw some of that too. And that makes the neighbor guy saying that he's not surprised even weirder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like
it does.
The whole thing is very suspicious. Weird.
So the whole, and again, you watch the explosion. It's very weird.
Very
the house
dramatic.
Just immediately flattens in free fall. The gas wasn't turned on. He's shooting flare guns, obviously to get everybody's attention.
Yeah.
And when the cops show up, the second they open the door, a gas explosion? No, the gas was off. He had rigged this place. He had totally rigged it. This is so bizarre. Now they say that they found, his body burned in the thing. I'm always suspicious of that because, if a guy goes through the process of rigging his house to explode, firing flares to get the police to come to the house, I mean, you'd think he has enough forethought to have an escape route or something. I don't know, man. This is weird.
The whole thing is very strange, and we don't know anything much about this guy's background or anything other than what's being reported in the mainstream right now. So he went through divorce and yada yada yada. But
yeah,
I don't know. We'll probably never know exactly what's going on. But this is the kind of thing. I talked to a lot of people over the years. Just people that want to chat at conferences and stuff like that. And there was one person that a few years ago, I think it was even before COVID, they wanted to chat with me, and they were saying that and again, I don't know if any of this is relevant or not, but they were saying at some point they're going to start blowing up houses all over the country. And they're going to say it's going to be nukes or something like that, but they're going to start doing that because they have some system in place underground, basically, and they can manipulate some of that to get certain properties to implode. So that's kind of what struck me.
The whole gas sort of utility system is kind of that, but yeah, it is weird.
I know,
but
yeah.
And putting this in context of that part of the country trying to ban gas on all new houses, get rid of your gas stoves.
Yeah, and that was kind of my landing spot, which was this is great stuff for, hey, we need better infrastructure. The infrastructure bill is in place. The money's ready to be deployed for certain things. You got Biden walking on bridge, appearing in places right as they crumble or whatever. Conveniently,
right.
And maybe
putting all about the smart grid.
Exactly. All the smart meters. Got to get the smart meters to make sure we're tracking everything, because otherwise we have no idea why. We have. And again, if you combine all the stories of these explosions, especially that second one, where that guy, the guy who works at a gas company, who was like, I've never seen anything. I don't even know how you would do that with oil. Hey, put a smart meter in there. We'll know exactly what happened with these types of situations. So,
well, speaking of crazy people,
okay, all right.
And the oncoming beast system, let's check in with Gen Z.
Oh, good.
Speaking of the beast system, beast system.
We've seen some inklings of this before, but apparently it just continues to become a talking point, a psyop point, maybe even a point of the left and right coming together to agree.
Coming together into the bunker.
That's kind of
Everybody's
what
welcome.
it feels like. Yeah, the left and right coming together to hide in the bunker.
Oh, gosh.
This is coming from New York Post headline: Why younger Americans are stockpiling supplies ahead of 2024 election. Society unraveling. Listen to this. They give us kind of the regular, doomsday prepping
New
intro
York
here.
Post, yeah.
Doomsday prepping is seeping into the mainstream as Americans. Oh my gosh.
Okay?
It's like we can't say a single thing off the cuff on this show without it coming true like 2 or 3 years later. It's insane.
Yeah.
Doomsday prepping is seeping into the mainstream as Americans of all ages and political persuasions are becoming increasingly worried ahead of the 2024 presidential election about the prospect of a civil war. Hoarding food, water, and weapons was once associated with libertarian extremists. But as a rematch between President Biden and his predecessor, former President Donald Trump, seems all but inevitable. I don't know about that, New York Post, but okay. Prepping has become a bipartisan activity. According to the Monday USA Today report. Bipartisan. See, this is the kind of cooperation we need in this country. And I'm actually being honest about that. That's not even satirical. I think this is a good sign.
I think, is this, hold on, let me see if this is.
Look stylish, feel smart. Basil's bunker.
There you go.
Yes, and trust me, this is the point that I'm making about this. Basil's bunker, it is time. I'm thinking maybe a good way to do it. So Basil's bunker, of course, folks, is an idea for a prepping company that I've wanted to do for many years now, and I'm too busy podcasting to make it happen. But, like a monthly subscription to where you can slowly build up your prepper gadgets and supplies and things like that, all in sort of a fun type of way instead of having to go to the weird prepper store, especially for people on the left who are new to it. But this is what I've been saying. Prepping is a bipartisan activity.
I like this.
And so much so. What?
I like this idea of catering to the left, prepper gear catered to the left. It's an untapped market. You got all these lefties.
That's what I'm saying.
They don't know what to do. Come to Basil's bunker.
Make it friendly, make it fun, just take it easy. You don't, because all the prepper stuff, especially online, it's all very intense. It's always a huge guy with a beard wearing, an upside down American flag hat and like, okay, brother, here's what's coming in today's prepper box and stuff. And that's cool. I love that. I have spent money on those guys.
Yeah.
But, get a little bit more of a sort of softer, trendy, sort of younger face on the thing. Maybe a guy in a VR headset, and put together some prepper stuff that might fill in the gaps. All right, thinking about it. Keep an eye out. If anybody wants to join me in this business venture, send me an email, canarycryradio@gmail.com. Okay, quote, on the left, you have people afraid Trump's going to declare himself dictator of the United States. And people on the people on the left are going to end up as targets in some sort of authoritarian system.
Okay.
Oh, the irony.
The irony is
the
just melting off of their fingers. Go ahead.
Yeah. Quote, on the right, it's general malaise.
Oh, really? Really?
So on the left, it's Trump's the dictator. He's going to kill and execute leftists. We got to prepare. On the right, it's just sort of a general malaise and fear of society.
You know what it is? It's the fact that the right has been associated with this movement for so long that it feels like malaise,
It's uninteresting.
It's become normalized so much that saying that society is unraveling is sort of, it's at some point they're going to be right. I mean, they have
boring
been right.
for this
it's
guy
boring.
to try to explain the right's prepping. He's much more interested in the details of the left's prepping, which honestly I am too.
Yeah.
At this point,
No, you
Market
can really
research.
Yeah, you can do some stuff.
The quote continues. They point to these smash and grab robberies, riots, and protests. Breck Wagner, 39, of North Carolina, runs a YouTube channel that offers advice to younger, more liberal urban dwellers about how to prepare for a cataclysmic disaster. She is worried that if Trump is reelected, he would fumble the response to a hurricane or other natural disaster that is supercharged by climate change.
Oh.
See, it's so specifically left, but we can come together and prepare for the end of the world, pointing to his administration's handling of Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico and the COVID-19 pandemic.
Climate change.
The intensification of our natural storm seasons. Okay, boring.
You know what this is? They are creating, they're sort of breeding the eco-warrior. You know, they probably want to
a little bit
build it and then siphon off a portion that will become the eco-terrorists.
Equipping the eco-extremist warrior. Yeah. They mention the same gal who's worried about climate change says an electromagnetic pulse that takes out the electrical grid could happen. A nuclear war might happen. Civil war might happen, but a storm will happen.
Whoa. Wait. Hold on. This is the liberal left person?
Yes.
Talking points. So EMP, nuke, civil war, 100% a storm is going to be here. They sound like a QAnon or something.
Yeah, exactly. It's left Q.
Left Q.
Now listen to this. Now we're getting to the very specific differences. Now let me mention something. I didn't bring the poll right in front of me, but there's been a huge poll lately. Everybody's talking about it, that Gen Z is the most conservative generation in like 100 years. They've done the polling. They've talked to Gen Z. They are the most conservative. I know it's surprising, but it's a backlash to the millennial and Gen X liberal parents.
Sure.
They're now all becoming conservative. So Gen Z, most conservative generation ever. And that's why this person's, liberal prepping company, YouTube channel, is getting it wrong. But let's keep going. And there's some very specific details. If you can be prepared, quote, you won't be a drain on the resources needed to help the people who didn't prepare. So you prepare so communism can take care of other people. Quote, in the face of an apocalypse, I want to come out and calmly help people, she said. I want to be able to create a society that instead of wanting to shoot every stranger, understands our interdependence and creates a better society.
Oh my gosh.
So the left prepping, instead of the right, where it's like, I'm going to protect my family, I'm going to survive, I don't trust anybody, I don't need the government's assistance, they're going to put us in FEMA camps. This person on the left is like, no, I want to prep so I can help my neighbor and help all the strangers and be interdependent with all the people who didn't prepare. That's why this person is not going to survive. She's trying to be interdependent with the people who didn't prepare.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah. Okay.
She's trying to be the socialized government herself.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Yeah. Yeah. That she is the communist dictator.
Yeah. Exactly. That's how warlords are made.
Yeah.
They have resources and they hold them over other people to get what they want.
And then they phrase it as helping them.
This is a great part. Not every prepper is influenced by altruism.
Oh, brother. Oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me.
We'll talk about this dude who has fortified ranch compounds across the country, stockpiled, etc. His members, so here's an idea. His members, he has a bunch of compounds around the country that are stocked. His members, who pay at least $1,200 a year, are reportedly prepared to flee to the nearest compound in an event of war, nuclear blasts, protesting mobs, and shoot any marauders who approached its logged walls. We'll have some decent chow here come a collapse, Miller said, while giving USA Today a tour of the Spartan accommodations of his southern Colorado compound. We guarantee a year of food, but not toilet paper. The compound features an armored guard post, sniper positions, and underground bunker for its approximately 100 members. This guy is a genius, but I love how they are putting this together. Even when they start the article about like, hey, prepping concerns us all. Prepping, is bipartisan. Then they're like, this prepper YouTuber wants to help the world. This guy wants to shoot you with a sniper rifle. It's just a hilarious sort of juxtaposition they're creating here. Let's see here. But I think this guy just talks more about his very intense prepping.
Yeah.
I want middle-class Americans to survive, and we make it affordable to do that, Miller said. See, he's helping people too. I think eventually things will recover, and I want to be alive for that. Okay, I want to skip this guy, this statement, just because we already understand it. Even though most of the protests were peaceful, talking about 2020, Trump
6th.
threatened to dispatch them. No, I think they're talking about 2020.
Okay.
Yeah, George Floyd.
Oh, Floyd.
They're talking
Floyd.
about George Floyd in 2020. Even though those were all peaceful, Trump threatened to dispatch the military to clamp down on demonstrators as many cities suffered property damage. That's a gentle way of putting it. Quote, there could easily be a civil war during Biden-Trump election, he said, adding that his group was apolitical and pointing out that many of his members are ex-military and trained in survival. Over the past year, younger Americans have outpaced baby boomers and Gen Xers in prepping for doomsday scenarios. So polls show Gen Z, most conservative, also outpacing everybody else in prepping. You got all these young preppers out there, which has blossomed into an 11 billion annual business in the U.S., according to Finder.com. Some 39% of millennials and 40% of Gen Z had spent money on the practice, meaning prepping, in the past 12 months, compared to 29% of the overall adult population. In 2017, years before the COVID-19 pandemic, only about 25%. So, yeah, we get it. Prepping's more popular. So I think Basil's Bunker is it's the answer, man. It's the answer.
I like this. Professor Chad Huddleston, an anthropologist at Southern Illinois University, Edwardsville, said the surge in prepping is a result of an increased loss of trust in government among younger and more liberal people. I wonder if he's using that word liberal. Yeah, the next quote. I wonder if he's using liberal in the more traditional sense there. Quote, on one side, people think Trump may bring a new world order. And they will come and get us. So we need to be ready, Huddleston reportedly said.
That's the liberals.
That's the liberals.
The liberals think that Trump is going to do the new world order, and they will come get us.
You know,
see, the left is now in the targets of like, look at these crazy people, new world order tinfoil hatters.
Well, that's what's interesting to me is that you're right. It's bringing the product or the Pied Piper of the new world order might be a different guy, but they're both saying a new world order is coming. Both sides of the aisle are warning against it. That's very interesting. I find that fascinating. But, you know, of course, on one side you have, and then I think you have a lot of people that are sort of, I don't know, there's always a middle. I think a majority of people are more in the middle in terms of stuff.
Yeah,
but
the middle will not survive. They're not prepping. They're not going to make it.
The lukewarm will be spit out. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Listen to this series of quotes here. Quote, we do have this authoritarian streak running through the right, and prepping plays into that. They are prepared for violence, no question. Okay. Okay, of course, not citing the statistic that more Democrats bought guns over the last 3 years than Republicans, and that the most violent outbursts in public have all been by the left. But okay, quote, but you're also seeing an increase in militancy on the left. I'm seeing a lot of liberal preppers buying guns, saying that they waited too long. It's an unfortunate arms race that I do think we're going to see escalating as we head into the election, particularly if it's Trump versus Biden.
Oh, man.
They are straight up preparing for civil war, and they see now that they waited too long. Now, look, this is great for Second Amendment activists. And might show why more clamping. In fact, actually, over the past few years, 2A activism has been very successful in almost all states. But
yeah. You know, I'm going to tag this because, you know, I had that theory that the very unlikely theory that they're going to announce Trump is dead, and then he's going to hop on a video and say he's not dead, and he's, you know, it's going to cause a chaos. The Washington Post published yesterday a headline here. 2024 could be the deep fake election. Few states are acting. Washington Post calling 2024 the deep fake election. Can you imagine Trump getting on video saying, I'm alive? And then everyone saying that's a deep fake. I mean, the setup is crazy. And then you get all kinds of, and then you got all the people on the, you know, boots on the ground getting ready to fight, you know, if you're wearing a blue hat or a red hat, I guess. So just to add to the potential triggers for some kind of actual, actual chaos that could unbreak.
This whole thing is based around expecting a civil war for the election, which is crazy. It is common opinion now that the election just won't happen. I would say second to that, it's common that there's going to be a civil war. Yeah. It's great. Yeah. Wagoner, that's the YouTuber, the leftist prepper YouTuber. Wagoner, for her part, rejects a fear-based approach and encourages preppers to think about getting ready for community survival. Quote, listen to this. Quote, my perspective is that we are better together.
Oh, boy.
Okay? Just straight stole Obama.
Hillary and
what
Obama.
Was that? Michelle Obama.
Was it Michelle Obama? Okay.
My perspective is that we are better together, she said, adding that Jesus would slap the S out of anyone who had food and refused to help their neighbors who were hungry. So you know what? If the left wants to prep like this, somebody has got to be there to sell them their supplies. And I think it's me, Gons. I'm bipartisan prepping. It's my future. So seriously, anybody interested in getting involved in that, the time is now, because I am tired of not taking my own advice and then years later seeing the people who did take my advice be millionaires.
Yeah, Hillary Clinton in 2016 pushed the better together. I mean, I think Obama was the first one, but she has a post from 2016 on X, formerly Twitter. It's a simple but powerful idea. We are fairer together. We are better together. We are stronger together.
Oh, maybe there needs to be a formal deprogramming of the cult members.
Yeah. Apparently, the mind control has worked very well on a generation of young Gen Zers who are prepping. At least they're prepping, Maybe that's the thing. At least you're prepping. That's what
I'm saying.
Get them all ready for the urban balkanization of the U.S. We're all going to break up into silos and everyone's going to be a faction instead of states. And, it's all going to be good times.
Basil's Bunker is such a good name for it, too, because it's not scary. In fact, it's a little confusing because people will read it and be like, Basil's Bunker? Ooh! Like it sounds like a cooking show or something.
Yeah, cooking some recipes.
Which will be very non-threatening to the leftists. It can kind of give it like a little bit of a lighter touch.
Yeah, I like how the quote there at the end, too, the Jesus slapping, non-violent way to go about things, but also Jesus will slap you. So I guess there's violence is okay if it's coming from Jesus, but I mean, ultimately it is that it will be the case, comes back pretty angry. I don't know if you've read the Bible.
He has some slapping to do, that's for sure.
He does. Okay, let's
spend
a few minutes.
Do some art?
Yeah, let's spend a few minutes. Actually, before we get into art, let's do a quick speak pipe.
Please leave a message after the tone.
At the tone, please record your message.
Leave a message. Beep.
Message.
Go to canarycrynewstalk.com. There's a green tab on the right side or the bottom. If you click on it, it will open up a little window that allows you to record an audio message on your device up to 90 seconds. It'll be sent into our little inbox and we'll play it on air if it's for the people. If it's private, please let us know that it is private at the beginning of the message so we don't accidentally play it on air. Just a quick thank you to Travis for sending in the pre-show prayer. Appreciate that. And we like those because it sets the tone for the show. It's a great way to produce the show. We're going to kick it off with Nomen Prunte with a message.
Nomen Prunte here. Just wanted to let you guys know that on this, the 4th day of Christmas, my normie gave to me 4 Bitcoins mining, 3 brains a washing, 2 Bidens bumbling, and a FLIPPY to prune my pear tree.
I like it. Some clone references. Great. You're wealthy because you have 4 Bitcoin. What else was there? Some brainwashing going on. I like it. I think this could become a song. We need to make it into a full song.
Yeah.
Good job, Nomen Prunte. Keep it coming. Thank you very much. Next up, we have a message from Anonymous.
Hey, Basil and Gons. Hey, I'm headed west. I'm on the road. I just wanted to let you guys know and thank you guys for that Slave to Servant album and the last Canary Cry supply drop. I don't listen to new music that often, and it was such a treat. I just sold my van, got a new one, and it has a CD player. And I was like, wow, I can listen to a CD. And I'm getting so much joy from this album, like so much nostalgia too. Like I just hear so much influence that I can recognize, or it's just, my own musical history. But yeah, it's incredible. Man, I hear Michael Tate. I hear like Sublime. I feel like he was in a church choir at some point in his life. He's incredible. Last media I heard was like We Demand Total Vindication. So he's definitely like advanced as an artist, and it's so tight. It's so good, and I hope everyone gets a chance to listen. Yeah, have a great day. Take care, guys. Bye.
That's great. Thank you very much,
Awesome.
Nomen Day. Talking about the Slave to Servant CD that came in the supply drop, last supply drop. I'm actually ecstatic to hear that that she appreciated that, because it was a bit of a, I don't know, not a reach, but it was unusual for us to do something like that, and I'm glad everybody is liking it.
The music is polished. It's fantastic sounding stuff.
It's very
so
tight.
It's
tight. Yeah.
Good stuff. So appreciate that. Anonymous, thank you very much. You had something, Basil, real quick?
Oh, sorry. That wasn't Nomen Prute. That was Anonymous.
Yeah, that was Anonymous. We have a message from Aaron here.
Hey, Basil and Gons. I just got done listening to your interview with Patrick Holland, and it was really wonderful and eye-opening, and I am going to do what he said to do by getting a hold of representatives on this legislation as well as senators. The great thing is my husband was in legislation, and so he knows a lot of people, and he listened to it as well. So we're going to take some action on that in the state of Montana. You might remember me. I used to go by Aaron Moffat because I gave away silver on your channel once, and you guys said my name 3 times a week for about a month, and it was great because I used to have a YouTube channel back then. I lost it. But I think it's wonderful that we are getting the community into gold and silver. It is so important, and I've been shouting it from the rooftop for years. So great to hear from Patrick Holland. He's well-spoken, and he just knows his stuff. So I'm hoping one day I'll be as good as that, and good on you guys. Thanks very much for all you're doing. Peace.
Yeah,
thank you, Aaron.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate that.
Yeah, and great to hear from you. I mean, that silver giveaway was one of the more fun, community things going on back at the time. So we appreciate that very much.
Although I think gold just hit all-time high in dollars, which was great. But also I think if you look at it from the 10, 15 year perspective and consider inflation, you're still down like 45% or something. So yeah, that's in dollar terms. Yeah, inflation doesn't help. Also, it got me thinking, it did cross my mind when we were reading that first story, or not the first story, but the explosion story with James Yu and how he was emailing the FBI with all this stuff. Maybe email your local people, not the FBI with your crazy conspircy
Don't go
ideas.
federal. Email your local representatives. That's how you get things done.
Just to clarify, because I don't want people getting confused. There you
also,
go.
we have not received any more information about it, I don't believe, but there will be a Missouri meetup at one of the Missouri Freedom Initiative's walk-ins or stand-ins or something.
I forget what they were called.
Me too. We'll find out. But if you're the person planning that, let us know. Give us some more details.
Yep. Last pair of messages here from Silly Goose, Elder Dave.
Hi, guys. Elder Dave here. This is part 1.
Oh boy.
Why do gooses and geeses cross the road? The same reason chickens do. Today I have a super boomer rant. Back in the day, I got rid of cable TV because of, guess what? Advertisements. Sick and tired of advertisements. The rant was too long. So advance to part 2.
Okay, part 2.
The exciting conclusion, part 2. So I got this YouTube now, and one day they put a banner over top of my page. No. You have an ad blocker. I couldn't see anything. I had to disable it. Now I got to watch advertisements. But nobody has made a dime advertising off of me because, wait, I got to run out and buy that.
That's not true.
and I don't even pay attention to these ads. My brain totally blocks them out. And then these ads with a little box. Skip ad in 3, 2, 1. Boom, gone. Skip ad. That's what I wanted to do in the first place. With that, God love you, I love you, and 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Oh,
He gave us some, and we want to go home.
Gotta get a honk from the goose.
I think Silly Dave might be crack open the wine bottle or something there. Just sounded like he's just having fun.
I will say, I'm sorry to give you the bad news, Silly Goose Elder Dave, but the studies show people who think they are immune to advertising are the people who fall victim to it worse than people who don't. That's
does that mean
studies. That's what they operate off of. There is definitely lots of people making money off of advertising to you.
Yeah, yep. All right. Thank you for all the speak pipe. We appreciate that. It's a way to really connect with the community here. And speaking of which, we're going to thank some producers coming in with their talent.
Yep.
Audio production.
Yeah, helping build the culture behind the community here at Canary Cry News.
Let's zoom through these because we have a lot of them, don't we?
Yes, we do. We're going to start off with Jonathan F. here.
Jonathan
And this, we're going to keep this in the back pocket here because I believe Sir LX Protocol V2, who is the streaking executive producer, will get to this level here. But Jonathan F. has a note. Hello. Thought The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy was a good piece of media for the 42 streak of executive producing.
Yep.
42. So that is in the wings for any executive producers who gets to 42 episodes in a row, which is, wow, my goodness. That is quite the accomplishment.
Coming soon.
Thank you very much, Jonathan F. We have
about time we figure out our Baron ceremony.
Yeah, I know we need to figure
Sir
it out.
Alex Protocol is certainly Baron level.
Yep. We have some, we have a pair of jingles here from Marius and B-Dubs. The first jingle says, the note says, this jingle has been 2.5 years in the making. We have busy lives, but we are like a dog on a bone with a creative idea. We just needed a reason to finish the job. Basil and Gon's audio clips are from CCNT 317. And this one is the
Kissinger.
The Kissinger clip. Where's my Kissinger clip? Kissinger.
We played it last episode.
I know we did. I know. Is it not going to load on here? That would be a problem. It doesn't load. Oh, gotta love technology and how finicky it can be at times. Here we go.
By every American administration.
Don't get to that point pre-World War I type.
Come on, Kissinger. Yay. So good. Thank you, guys.
Yep. They sent another one in here. This was the second collab jingle spelled with a G. Jingle from your fans, B-Dubs and Marius.
You'll never know if you don't go. You'll never shine if you don't glow.
The weatherman is a total fraud.
There you go. It's a Gloninger jingle. What's up, buddy?
Oh, Gloninger. We have not spoken about Gloninger recently. We got to catch up with that guy. Thank you very much, you two. That's I like that. I like the collab going on.
Yeah, I do too. Very cool. Appreciate it. Thank you very much to Marius and B-Dubs. Okay, we have some art to do here. We're gonna let me get the art jingle.
One art, please.
Gonna kick it off with Sir Dove, Knight of Vesbeltia.
One art piece from Dove.
Oh boy. He has a note that reads as such. Peace. Last week on the show and on Fire Theft Radio, Basil talked about getting hate mail and how he'd like to make a button on the website where people would have to call and leave a hate voicemail instead so they can hear themselves being mean to him. Thought I'd make an illustration for the Linktree's Bash Basil button in case you guys actually wanted to do that. Hope you guys like it. Keep doing what you do, and I'll keep praying for yins.
Yes, I love this. This is great. I have not done it yet, but I definitely will now. The Bash Basil button, that's great. We've got an image here of a canary who has 2 black eyes, a big bump on his head, his tongue is hanging out his mouth, his cheeks are red, there's a big sort of bash icon over his head, and a hand reaching in from the side of the screen, holding a phone, giving that canary just a big old bonk on the head. I like bonk Basil button, although that's not quite indicative of hate mail. But thank you very much, Sir Dove. This is hilarious. I will definitely make this available.
Also, bonk is a very popular meme coin, the #1 meme coin on the Solana network. So you probably
that makes sense.
There you go. Thank you very much, Rung Smash. Or not Rung Smash. Sir Dove, Knight of Versatility. Thank you very much. Okay, we have another piece here from Pizza Rat. Do you want to read his note? This is kind of a longer note, but I think it's to you, so we can. If you don't have it,
okay.
I can do it.
Yeah. So this is. I don't know if we need to read the whole thing. It's a very long note.
Yeah.
But I had mentioned that his style was sort of punk rock. So he responds to that. He says, it's funny. You would describe my style as punk rock. You flatter me. Sir, the 2 artists that have inspired and turned me on the most were Jim Paget and Raymond Pettibone. Both are way better than me. Then it goes into the history of these 2 fellas. Pettibone was the brother of Greg Ginn, Black Flag's guitarist. I nailed it. This is punk rock style. The punk rock art movement has directly been responsible for Pizza Rat's style in his art.
Black Flag. That's Henry Rollins, I believe. Henry Rollins was a pretty interesting guy. Did you ever listen to Henry Rollins stuff? Like he had like these spoken word things. It wasn't exactly stand up. He would just tell stories, and they're very interesting. I mean, he almost died a couple times from gunshots and stuff. It's crazy, but
crazy.
Yeah.
It is interesting. He did send a lot of very interesting history. I mean, talking about Black Flag Records, other bands, including Husker Du, Sonic Youth. His style is stark and more critical of government. And then going down the rabbit hole from this guy named Raymond, came from a Scientologist family. The Illuminati even had their fingers in hardcore, one of the most DIY grassroots movements in American history, talking about hardcore music. Jim Paget was the illustrator of the children's Read and Grow picture Bible. That's interesting. The very root of my desire to draw came from this book. Talk about how he had one, his grandmother gave him one. Very interesting. Just seeing if there's any more. It says, Gons, if you do not have a copy of this to read to your children, do you have the Read and Grow picture Bible?
No.
Oh, well,
maybe I should.
You're going to send one to the P.O. box.
Yep. Oh, by the way, I need to update that. We do have a P.O. box now, so I need to update the
we do have a new P.O. box. We will put it on the next email. We'll update everything.
Yep.
Hopefully today. But anyways, Sir Dove, he gives a thank you to Sir Dove. He said, Sir Dove, thanks for the shout out. I'm flattered that you even know who I am. I wish I were able to spin out that much material. It's truly awe-inspiring. I'm working on my version of your character presently. See, watch out, Sir Dove. We got Pizza Rat on the move here.
Yep.
I may offer 2 or 3 options. Can't decide. Okay. Also, that guy who does the ducks or canaries or whatever and seems to like Escape from New York. His name escapes. I'm not exactly sure who he's talking about there, but he's working on people. He's working on characters for the Canarium. This is what I'm talking about, folks. Maybe we could do like a punk rock zine, and we'd get Pizza Rat to illustrate it for us.
NFTs, bro.
I was thinking about zines. That's such a big part of American sort of countercultural history, and when society collapses, zines will be the most important.
Trade food for zines.
Yeah, we could do like a zine subscription.
Yeah.
All right, or just throw it all out of airplanes and let it waft down into the post-apocalyptic landscape. Anyways, he says, thanks for doing what you do, and I'll keep praying for you, Pizza Rat.
Thank you, Pizza Rat. Appreciate it. We have a few things here from Sir Darren Knight of the Hungry Panda.
Knight of the Hungry Panda.
He has joined the exclusive Babysitters Club and access to Basil's Buddy Royale live stream content sponsored by the Value for Value producers.
This is great. We've got Sir Darren putting these professional looking advertisements together. Yeah. And this one is based on the style of GTA, Grand Theft Auto, because GTA 6 was just announced. It's really big right now. So, of course, this is going to catch the eye of young Grand Theft Auto aspiring criminals. And it says this is the Babysitter Club one, right?
Yeah. I can play the audio here real quick. I mean, it's the same background here.
Do it.
I think it's just, I don't remember.
Join the exclusive Babysitters Club and get access to Basil's Buddy Royale live stream content. Why? Because even though this is a fake ad, Gons has real babies. This fake ad is sponsored by the producers of CCNT. Buck-Caw.
I love it. Buck-Caw. You know, Sir Darren is the model social media guy when it comes to being a producer of the show. I mean, his whole page is dedicated to the handle, Sir Darren Knight of the Hungry Pandas. Yeah. He posts all the social media. He tags us. He's doing it right.
Yeah. So everybody out there on Twitter or X, when you see us retweet, first of all, go follow Darren Knight of the Hungry Panda. Yeah. He has 64 followers, which is just a shame. Yeah, and I will do everything in my power to make sure that I can get as many followers for Sir Darren as possible. Not only because he deserves it and is talented and a faithful producer of the show, but also his work is incredible. I am scrolling to try to find his handle here, but I will do that momentarily.
It's at Hungry Panda, I believe.
If you see us...
Yeah. I'm sorry. At Panda Upgrade is the handle. At Panda
Upgrade.
Yep.
Yeah. Go follow at Panda Upgrade. And when you see us retweet or you see him post something awesome, retweet it, like it, and bookmark it. Bookmarking is the secret sauce over on X right now. And this ad is great because it's got a GTA style young woman, waifu style with the teal hair holding one of the Canary Cry energy drinks. There is a spoof of an Xbox game box, and it's Basil Box, which is a great name for a prepper box too. It says Canary Cry News Talk 33, Basil's Buddy Royale. A lot of video game inside jokes here that I won't explain. But yes, this is excellent. Thank you very much. And we got to put all of these video ads that he's put together into the pre-show, I don't know, stream or whatever.
Yeah, we'll make it loop. We have one loop.
Maybe we'll play it. If we put them all together, I'm sure there's a couple minutes. We could play it in, as the countdown.
Yeah. Yeah, we can do something like that. Definitely do that. Yeah. He did put together a Babysitter Club one too, which is fantastic. It's me freaking out.
Yeah, we'll do that one on the next show.
Yep. There you go. Thank you very much to Sir Darren. We have one more here, and this is from Caleb. He just said art on this. Actually sent a couple things here. Yeah, the first one. This is what I was talking about when I disappeared and left you all alone, Basil, for the end of the show. Uh-huh. And I said how, it might have been God saying, hey, Gon, step aside, let Basil shine. Well, here's what I'm talking about. Play.
Of course, it's a video he put together.
It is a video. An error? Why is there an error?
No error.
Come on.
Do not error.
Yeah. Here we go.
Someday you got a podcast, and other days you don't podcast. Some days things don't go right, but you gotta wake up or go to sleep at night. You gotta put those names in the spreadsheet. You gotta put those names in the spreadsheet. You gotta put those names right in that spreadsheet and keep looking up to Jesus. Came to a crossroads while podcasting one day. My co-host went one direction, I went the other way. I was alone on the air with no soundboard at my side. So I'm just singing the sounds to make it right. Thank you, Caleb. Thank you, Caleb.
Fantastic.
Yes,
Fantastic
if anybody
work.
was wondering my emotional state at the end of the Friday's episode or Monday's episode, that's what it was. So thank you very much. I'm glad that can live forever.
Yeah, good stuff. And then I think this was Caleb also sent this in. It's a clip of an old 80s thing. It worked better as a visual. I don't know if the audio is really worth playing, but it was one of the it was an 80s video of
It's a popular meme.
Yeah.
That's GIF meme that's going around. I saw it being used a bunch. And what he did was he put the Canary Cry logo and a bunch of dancing canaries. And everybody will remember the song if you want to play a piece of the song.
See if it works. It might not work. Might give me that whole thing where it's error.
It's always
gave me an error.
It's always a mystery, folks. If anything's going to work around here.
Here we go. Come on,
Okay.
play. Oh boy. So loud. Are we going to get a copyright strike?
Probably. Yeah. So
Okay.
that's what we'll post it on our social media. Let's not get the copyright strike. But that was a sort of a infamous, I think, 70s or 80s song that was written about the Israeli-Palestine conflict back then. And yeah, that's great. But I mean, that's perfect. Getting our logo on highly relevant retro music videos.
Yeah. All right, that's it for that. We have a couple microfictions to cover here.
Okay.
Microfiction.
Didn't see one from Runk Smash, but I did see one from Stefan S. that we need to catch up on.
Steven!
So here we go with that.
In the recent Buy My Tech marketing meeting, boss, Hooters has shut down the product test of the robotic waitresses in their restaurants. Lone Scum lamented, "Too bad. I was certain the extra padding and lipstick was going to take it over the top." This was in regards to the robots are servicing short-staffed restaurants, but what happens to the human waiters? Yes, well, you can't have robots at a Hooters. I mean, or can you?
I just had some weird deja vu of you reading that microfiction. I was like, I feel like this exact microfiction was read in a dream of mine like 5 years ago or something.
Huh.
Weird, Stefan S. Get out of my dreams, Stefan S.
You broke the simulation, Stefan S.
All right, that was weird. Okay, Jolmes coming in with the next part of his microfiction.
Yes, more of the lonely space ship microfiction.
Yeah, here we go.
A beam hits her window. A light crack slithers from the impact site, sucking out the air with a hiss. An overhead HUD rings out multiple integrity breaches. Fuel, oxygen, shields. Nodding them away dismissively, she looks ahead to an opening into part of the comms central's docking station and maneuvers cleanly into it. The two other ships split up in response, attempting a pincer on both sides of the chunk.
So epic.
So epic. Thank you very much, Jolmes.
Thank you, Jolmes. Keeping up with the series there. Appreciate that. That's it for the producers coming in with talent. Thank you so much. Appreciate all of you helping us build the culture behind the community here.
That's right. Thank you very much, everybody, for lending your talent to the show. It's a big deal. It's a big deal to send in your art. It's a big deal to make art. It's a big deal to show anybody art. It's a big deal to have thousands of people to witness your art on a live stream and have it described by a man wearing googly eye VR headset. And don't worry, there's no obstacle to getting your art on the show. We love it very much. You create the culture, and you can send in your art to us by going to canarycry.art. It's a URL. canarycry.art. Upload the art there. It goes into our spreadsheet. If you email it to us, it's really a shot in the dark if it's going to make it onto the show. And of course, if you have any articles you want us to consider for the show, just go to canarycry.report. And remember the little song, canarycry.support, canarycry.report, and then there's always canarycry.art. Doop-a-doop-boop.
All right. Good stuff. I have to go pick up my daughter.
Okay. Get on out of here, little guy.
I know.
That's fine. We'll do the Nephilim update next episode. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. I want to thank the timestampers.
Yes. Hold on. Gotta be ready.
Timestamp. It's hard work. Timestamp.
Yep, it's hard work, but it's very important work. I don't know how else to describe the importance of the timestampers. And I opened my timestamp doc, and it is scrolled to episodes from 50 weeks ago.
Oh, good. It's Morgan E. Morgan E. was 694. Thank you, Morgan E. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much, Morgan E., for doing the timestamps, episode 694. Thank you, Dan, for the links. Thank you to everybody for everything. Thank you to Clank for clanking. And other than that, share the show, folks. Share it with your friends, share it with your family. But more importantly, share it in a way that only you can share it. Use the gifts, the talents that the Lord has given you to have an effect on this world that only you could possibly have. You don't need to fake a gas explosion or shoot 40 flares into the sky to get people's attention. That's the great part about it. That's somebody who is confused. But what you do need to do is volunteer your time to my new business venture, Basil's Bunker, so we can reach the left with the proper messaging when it comes to the end of society and being prepared for it. Look, if we can get into their orbit, get into their sphere of influence, we might be able to make some change. So go ahead and commit the rest of your life to helping me create basilsbunker.com. I just checked. I do still have the domain. Send me an email at canarycryradio@gmail.com. If you are a marketing person, if you are a web person, I think we have a web person. If you are just interested in being a fan and just joining the street team, and or just interested in getting boxes of end of society supplies from your best buddy, just prepare for that. But no matter how you share the show, we call it rattling cages, and all you got to do is walk right up to him, grab him by the cage, and then you shake it.
The end of the world occurred pretty much as we had predicted.
I want to shake things up, stir up some controversy, rattle a few cages. Hey, stop that! You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man, a crusader for the little guy. Leave the bird alone. Never. Rattle a few cages. Rattle a few cages.
The human race will have every opportunity to improve.
And if they don't?
Ask Noah.
That's right. Just ask Noah. Gons, you got any last words?
I don't think so. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it. See you guys on Friday.
We'll be back on Friday. That's right. Thanks, everybody, for listening to this episode of Canary Cry News Talk. Make sure to tune in next time. But until then, think outside the cage.
We're all gonna die.
This is not about freedom or personal choice. You break.
I'll keep you warm and safe in my people's zoo.
I've ordered more pills than anyone in the world.
Toilets! Toilets! Feed him more.
remember, reality is an illusion. The universe is a hologram. Buy gold. Bye!
I wanna shake things up, shake things up. I wanna shake things up, shake things up. Leave the bird alone. I wanna stir up some controversy. I wanna rattle a few cages. I'm the last angry man. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man. I'm the last angry man. You'll never silence me. I'm the last angry man. A crusader for the little guy. Well, we'll see about that.
Whatever, Illuminati. He's a Satanist from one of the Satanist churches here where they sacrifice babies.
Value for value. We take no money from corporations, commies, or cartels.
Canary, cry, not support.
Bye-bye.